Meritocracy and affirmative action can't coexist. All right? We got Stephen A. Smith right here who has taken exception to the fact that I was about to call them the New Jersey Nets, the Brooklyn Nets hired Steve Nash, a phenomenal hooper. I mean, from Phoenix to Dallas, I was definitely watching Steve Nash when he was doing his thing, and my man, he could ball. Yeah, but he's Canadian, so. Anyways, Stephen A. Smith is just super butthurt that, oh my goodness, this is whiteness, this is white folks just being white folks. I'm gonna let this man, do his thing. Let's go.
This is one of the toughest positions that I've ever had to take, and in my career on First Take. And here is why. I want to first state that Steve Nash has no coaching experience, but if you talk about an outlier, an individual that is just special on so many levels, it is Steve Nash. Not
Exactly. See, if you're unaware, Kevin Durant is more than likely the individual who signed off on this. Him and Steve Nash had gotten, to know each other. He liked where his head was at. He thought he might, be able to be a good fit. So that's the person, quote unquote, black man who was like, yeah, Steve Nash can be my coach. Bet. And so the deal is, and we know what Stephen A. Smith's problem is like, there's not more black head coaches, despite the fact that, the main thing that any employer should be looking at, regardless. I like to think that Stephen A. Smith, that's how Stephen A. Smith got his position, not because he was black, but because he was good and he brought in the ratings, right? So, like, networking is also a gigantic part of employment and being in these different realms. So Steve Nash was able to finagle himself a job. Good on him, right?
just as a player, but his mentorship to some degree with Steph Curry. The brothers that he has looked out for and supported when Quentin Richardson was his teammate, and he took money off his plate to make sure Quentin Richardson got paid. When he had his man Steven Jackson, his former teammate, his teammate at the time, living with him and took him in and looked out for him.
Damn, Steve Nash sound like a real good dude. Like he just has an amazing character, which is more than likely why the Nets wanted to have him there, have him around. What's the problem, Stephen A?
Respect that he has around the league, his smarts, his intelligence, his basketball IQ. Steve Nash is a sensational dude, and if anybody deserves this opportunity, absent the experience that obviously he has as a coach, it is him. It happened for Steve Kerr, who had never coached on any level before, but he took over Golden State, and look at the job that he's done. Steve Nash is widely respected and loved by a whole bunch of people.
Okay, this is a really fun preamble because he's just getting around to saying that he's racist. Plain and simple. Like after going through all that, and plus, he was a point guard. And if you're unfamiliar with the sport of basketball, I mean, Jason Kidd was a point guard who was a pretty decent head coach. It's a floor general. It by its nature is a leadership position. So yeah, I mean, what's exactly? Once again, you say you're talking about what a spectacular person, what kind of fantastic character he has. So exactly, what's your problem? Spoiler: he's a racist.
The NBA, black, white, and beyond. Congratulations to him. He deserves it. I get it. But this ain't about him, what I'm about to say.
Then who's it about? Because what, you want to talk about the system that is honestly the reason that you've been able to accrue everything that you've acquired, sir? The one that you by talking on this system, and for the entirety of your career, making these claims and being concerned and saying, oh my goodness, why aren't there more black coaches? Why aren't there more black coaches? It's just like, dude, at some point, it's not, it wasn't your decision to make in the first place, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, there's no way around this. This is white privilege. This does not.
I'm a racist. Stay off the race. Doesn't he like to do that when it comes to cannabis? Stay off the weed. Stay off the race. Stephen A. Smith. Because honestly, like I said, the individuals, this man is like a millionaire, right? Like Stephen A got bread. Like he doing well. Like, so to sit here and pretend as if like, and a lot of it was your hard work, was your networking, you wanting it. And that's a gigantic part of playing this whole equality of outcome game, because you do need individuals that are not just good but are good and wanted, right? So it really does dry up the pool in many ways.
Happen for a black man. No experience whatsoever on any level as a coach, and you get the Brooklyn Nets job. I know that Kyrie and KD.
But here's the thing, okay, and I think I'm gonna give him that. Like, oh, no experience as a head coach, but it's the sport, it's the game. He's been coached his entire career. Once again, he was a point guard, which is a floor general, and he was impressive enough and familiar enough with their main star to warrant, hey, like, yo, this is the guy we gonna go with. And once again, the call was made, like, whether, like, yeah, there's all the executives, but KD is the show. So let's be real. Come on, man. Like, why this is gross. This is so much Black Lives Matter. Oh my goodness. Oh, we as black folks, 400 years. Like, yo, come on, man. Pause. A hard pause.
Have both signed off on this. I know they both support this move, but I'm thinking about a champion that is Ty Lue, passed up. I'm thinking about a guy who built the foundation.
Ty Lue, the champion who got that title off of LeBron's back, bro. Come on, man.
Foundation for the Golden State Warriors in Mark Jackson, passed up. I'm thinking about the years that Sam Cassell has served as an assistant, first in the nation's capital in D.C., and now with the loss.
But here's the thing. He didn't know the folks that Steve Nash knew. Golly. Here's the thing, particularly when it comes to affirmative action and, people of color and how they like to mix that black and brown. And like one of my major complaints about all of this has been how they use the history and a lot of programs and a lot of institutions that were put there to help, elevate and push forward something that was very necessary at the time when it was done. They saying for, descendant men, everybody and their mother come in and be like, oh yeah, I want a little bit of that. I want a little bit of that. I want a little bit of that. And then boom, you end up in this situation where, okay, yeah, so now they're taking the tokens, right? Because it wasn't John Boyega bitching about being a token. Like, dude, you cut the check, shut up. Deal is that, you take the tokens, right? And there you are. You're getting paid. You're doing your thing. So don't sit there with, I guess, survivor's remorse, like you're not cutting the check. And Stephen A. Smith is definitely on that, at that tier. Like, bro, you're good. You're good, and you are a voice that people hear, people listen to. So, I just really, it irritated the hell out of me to watch somebody who this country has been really good to, and who, the Rooney Rule in the NFL was created, but this was a different circumstances, and like you said, the superstars themselves had to sign off on it. So, like, to sit here and be like, oh yeah, this is white privilege. No, he was right. He was in the right place at the right time. And that happens for everyone, not for everyone, but for a lot of people. And, yourself included, right? A few years off, or when your father popped one in your mom, like, yo, if it was a different seed, it'd be a completely different world. That's what life is. It's just infuriating to like I genuinely believe that with all like with the pushing of the tokenism, there's a dilution in quality because they didn't get the person that was best for the job. They went with, a mediocre person and boom. And that's why meritocracy is a thing, because you do want individuals who leave that type of impression enough to take the to be given a this opportunity. So shout out to Steve Nash, man. From everything I've ever seen of the man, he seems like a really cool dude, which is why, like Stephen A, like regardless of how you trying to sit here and spread it, you're trying to remove Steve Nash from the equation, but you can't, because he's a cool dude. like it is him. Like if you were to make an exception for anybody, it'd probably be him, right? So why are you going to sit here and act like, oh well, let's not just give him the shot? Why do you feel the need to bring the whole racism and race in on it? At least that's my opinions. So with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you like this, also like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice. You want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and Bitchute and like aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications. Get something from the Teespring and speak. Let me know. What do you guys think in the comments? I'll give Stephen A the benefit of the doubt and say, like his heart's in the right place, but the like equality of outcome is just impossible in a free society, my guy, because people got choices to make. But if you may feel differently, and if you do, that's what my comment section's for. Until the next one.